Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech It Easy. Today I'm really going to focus on business planning and how we can use AI to help us do that. I created a GBT inside ChatGBT that will actually take all the models and systems that we've been talking about in the last week and help you build a business plan for 2026 and beyond. It'll help you build a GPS and a 411 out of those numbers and information that you put in there, from your big why to what you want to do for lead gen, to contacts, appointments, all that. And most importantly, what do you want to take home next year to live your life and to live your dreams. So let me share my screen. I'll jump into the GBT. All right, so here we go. KW Gateway Business Planning Coach is what I ended up calling it. So what's the idea around this? It's really, as I said, to make a business planning and market shift assistant built for KW Gateway Realty agents. You have a few prompts right in front of you. If you're starting off, I recommend that you start with, let's start my 2026 KW business plan. If you've already got your business plan, you're feeling pretty good about it, but you need some help figuring out whether or not what your 411 or more importantly your GPS then your 411 looks like. You could also start over at the right hand side, which show me how to create my 411 and my GPS, and it'll take you through the steps and ask you the questions from your business plan. So let's start off with this. Let's start my 2026 KW business plan. So you will find as you go through this that certain numbers are automatically put in there. This pulling information from the MREA, from SHIFT, and some other of our business planning documents. So when you answer some of these questions, it's going to pre-fill some assumed information in there. At any time inside the GBT, you can change it. So first thing it's going to ask is, what is our current business stage? So I'm going to say that right now we're between that 5 to 18 transactions. So I'm going to say growth. And then it's going to say, once you choose your stage, we'll do clarify where you are today, your big why, set your 2026 net income and GCI goals, build your economic model. So I'm going to say growth. Let's keep moving. So now that I selected growth, as I said, in the background, it's going to have some assumptions that it's putting in based on the averages of what agents do inside that level of production. And what does that mean for 2026 business plan? So tightening your models, expanding your database and conversion mastery, building leverage through systems and early hires, tracking return on investments on lead gen, expenses, etc. So where are you today? So it's going to say, to capture your current business snapshot, please share your total closed units in 2025, your average commission per closing, total GCI, net income after expenses. So I'm going to say in 2025, I closed 15 units. 15 units. I'm going to say average commission was, I'll just keep numbers nice and easy, 10,000. Total gross commission income last year, I'm going to say we're just going to go really simple, 150,000. And net income after expenses, I'm going to say was about 120,000. Income, net income. You don't have to be pretty here. Just make sure you point out clarify which piece of information you're putting in and what is what. And what's your big why? Help pay for our kids' college. All right. Now we've got all in there. So I got my closed units, I've got my average commission, total gross commission income, net income, and my big why. And you can see here why, if you're a brand new agent or if you had under 4 transactions in the last year, you wouldn't have to answer these questions necessarily. It's going to assume some of the national averages for you to fill in that information from the MREA, which is just great. So now it's just going to recap. So at 15 units closed, $10,000 was per closing on average, your total GCI, your net income, and there's our primary big why. So using the MREA models, the 30-30-40 rule, the economic model, 30% for cost of sales, 30% for operating expense, and 40% profit. So the growth agent benchmarks to set a 2026 target. So net income profit, 40%, expenses, 30%, cost of sales, 30%, target GCI. So it's going to give you some information there. You can challenge it at any point. So it's saying at $10,000 average commission, that means about 40 closed units in 2026. So that seems pretty aggressive. Really depends on where you are in your business or where you'd like to be. So I'm going to say, let's just change target GCI to 200,000. I like to increase it by 50,000 in 2026. And keep, let's say, keep expenses at 25%. Let's just say I'm just making an assumption. My expenses are not going to be as high as the 30%. You want to stick with exactly with the model, you could keep it right at the 30%. So now it's going to change those numbers a little bit for us. So now let's take a look. Closed units 15. That's where we were last year in average commission of 10,000, total GCI, big Y, great. Now it's going to look ahead. So average gross commission GCI is going to be, we're going to shoot for 200,000, expenses 25%, net income profit 75%. All right, how are we going to make this happen? So based on your 2025 performance, here's the path forward, right? 5 more closings, that's pretty easy. We could see that coming. Maintain your average commission per closing at 10,000. It keeps expenses lean. Track monthly return on investment, lead gen, and tools. It's great that it brought that up because that was one of the 3 primary recommendations that we should try to do this year. Implement a consistent lead gen model. That was also there to build your database towards 600 to 700 contacts. Begin light leverage part-time admin or transaction coordinator if you don't have one to protect your time for lead gen. And I'm just going to, do you want to move on to the next part? I'm going to say yes. Yes, looks good. And if you mistype or misspell, don't worry about it. It catches pretty much everything that you do. All right, so now it's going to talk about the 2026 economic model focused on appointments. So our goal is 200,000 in GCI, 10,000 average commission, 20 units. We know that, right? So now it's going to make a few assumptions. So appointments to clients, benchmark 70%. You convert 7 out of 10 listing buyer consultations. Clients to contracts, 75% of those clients go to contract, deals that go under contract. Contracts to closing, 75%, percentage that make it to closing table. So this is a great point to say, okay, my numbers are a little bit better. My numbers are a little bit worse. I don't know what my numbers are. If you don't know what your numbers are, leave them right here. These are the standard. These are the average. So stick with the average. If you're like, well, when I meet with appointments, I'm pretty good. I'm usually more like an 8 out of 10. Change it to 80%. If you're like, most of my clients, deals go under contract, that's great. Contracts to closing, 75%. The one I would say that right off the top of my head, I would probably say is the contract to closing. That one there is pretty easy for you to track. I'm going to say 80%. And I'm going to leave everything else alone. So let's update that and have it rerun the numbers for us. What I'm showing you here is just take a look at the numbers. If you're not sure, stick with the models in the system. If you know what your numbers are, change it in here because you want it to be really, really close to what you think your production is going to be in 2026. So there we go. The only thing that changed, the 80% from contracts to closing. Perfect. So closed units given, we've got 20 target, contracts needed. So 20 divided by that 80%, that's 25. Clients needed, so that's that 25 divided by the 0.75, the 75%, 34. And then and from that 34, you're going to take 70% appointments needed. You're going to need about 50 appointments. Let's just say it that way. So really easy math. So now you can break it down to a monthly and weekly focus, and it's great. Monthly closings, you need 2. Keep pace with your 20 unit goal. Appointment per month, 4 to 5, 1+ a week. Contacts per week, 75. Prospecting and nurturing to generate a steady flow. Database size goal, 600 to 700. Continue to expand your reach, right? Real estate is what? It's a conversation game, right? We've got to be having real estate conversations, whatever those look like. So key focuses, increased efficiency. You need 49 qualified appointments this year, just under 1 per week. With your average conversion rate, that yields 20 closings, and it will get you to the 200 GCI that you want. When you focus on setting one new appointment per week and protecting lead gen time, you guarantee your financial goals. Yeah, so now I want to say, okay, I'd like to move to lead gen. Yes, please. How are we going to do this? It's easy to say, okay, this is what I need to do, but how are we actually going to do this? And as you're going to see here, it's going to continue to work through the business planning models to make sure that you know exactly what you need to do when you get up every single morning. All right, so I'm going to go right down to the number 2, key lead gen metrics, right? So this is all the information we were just talking about to reach your goal. Once again, good time to review it. Does that sound good? Yes, it does. I'm liking that. And it's even throwing in at the very last line there on number 2, additional per month, 20 to 25 through networking events and referrals. So it's even adding on where you could get some more contacts in there. So your 36 touch plan, KW standard for growth agents. I will say this, listening to Cody Gibson, listening to Gary Keller, listening to James Shaw, you're probably looking at more like a 66 to 100 touch plan if you really want to stay in front of your clients as you go into 2026. And we could actually play around with it. I haven't actually done that one before. We could see what it does if we change our play. But right now, let's stick to the 36 touch plan. So quarterly calls, every 90 days, care call, check in, CMA offer, whatever you want to do, right? Monthly email, 12 times a year. Whether it's KW Command Smart Plan or another smart plan you want to do a newsletter, whatever it is. Just remember, it's great for them to hear from you, but there needs to be some type of value in there for them to actually care and to open it. And we know only about 12% of emails are opened. So you've got to have something in that's really going to stick out and highlight. So something to think about. A great thing to put into AI to help you with as well. How do you get better engagement with your emails being opened? Event pop by 2 times a year, client appreciation event or a local giveaway, social media touches 12 times a year, market updates, client story, community highlight, really easy to do. Holiday, birthday cards 6 times a year, personal handwritten or digital. I think personal handwritten is amazing if you have that information, so you can do that. If not, digital is just great. And then now it's going to go through the sort of the lead gen rhythm for us here. So Monday, focus on the database care and note writing, 10 touches. Tuesday, call past clients, sphere of influence, 15 conversations. Wednesday, lead gen follow-up and nurture, 15 conversations. Thursday, prospect new business, open houses, social, for sale by owners, etc., 20 contacts. Friday, event planning and lead review, 15 touches. And it gives us a little pro tip. Block 2 90-minute lead gen sessions each morning before noon. Command your calendar, and your calendar will command your income. I think that's perfect. Protect that lead gen time like you're protecting your paycheck, because it is your paycheck that you're protecting. Anyway, so lead source by mix is the next thing. Suggested, database and sphere, 50% of the business, 36 touch, personal outreach. Referrals, 20%, client events, social proof, and partner network. Open house community, 15%, weekly high traffic. Open houses, digital marketing, Facebook, Instagram ads, email campaigns, networking, local partnerships. This is a great one too. Take a look at it. Are these things that you do? Are these things that you like to do? Are these things that you want to do? Is there something else that you do that you want to put in here and say, oh, you know what? I do this each week and this really resonates and really helps out. Whatever it is, whatever you're using for lead sources, this is a great time to tweak it in here. Growth agent leverage opportunity. So as you scale, consider you want to add a VA, a part-time admin to help with database touches and event coordination, set up smart plans, use AI, tagging in your database, whatever it may be, scheduling accountability with a coach or a partner to track lead gen results weekly. If you have a coach or if you have a partner, to hit your goals is a lot more attainable. We have somebody that you're checking in with each week. They're right there with you along the way. So now it says, do you want to build your 2026 lead gen calendar? And I'll say, yes. I'm going to say, however, we'll challenge it. Let's turn the 36 touch into a 66 to 100 touch that I'm going to say James Shaw has mentioned. Don't know what this is going to do because I haven't done this before. So let's just see. So there we go. So it's going to adjust for it. It gives you a little positive affirmation. Oh, I'm thinking like a pro level growth agent. Love it. You're right. Top producers, including James Shaw and MAPS coaches, are shifting beyond the traditional 36 touch to a 66 to 100 touch model designed for today's competitive, lower conversion environment. So now it's going to give you the 66 to 100 touch framework. And once again, it's just a sample, but there you go. So quarterly calls every 6 weeks, email campaigns. So it's going to increase your email campaigns to bi-weekly. Social media touches 2 times per month now. Text DMs 1 time per month. That is something that's key. Over 70% of texts get read and responded to. So I think that's really important to think about. Voicemails are falling off, and emails, as I already said, about 12%. So I wouldn't put it in there, but you want to have it in there. It's an easy touch. Make sure there's value in there. Don't just spam somebody. But that text piece and direct message on social media is great. Events. So now it's saying 4 events a year. Client events, community service, pop-bys, educational workshops. Don't overthink it. Keep it simple. But if you can do 4 different events that aren't too much of a heavy lift, partner up with somebody. Great way to do it, whether it's another agent in the brokerage or partner up with one of your lender partners or your title partners. A great way to do it. Mailers, handwritten notes every other month. So personalized note, a just sold, just listed mailer, invites, target ads, retargeting, ongoing command or social ads targeted to your database and lookalikes. That's 80 to 90 touches per year per contact, meaning your top 200 to 300 in your database will always feel your presence. And now it's going to give us the cadence, and now it's going to change that weekly lead gen for rhythm a little bit for us, right? It's going to be even more specific on what you need to do to make sure that you're getting that 75 plus contacts touched intentionally each week. And then here's leveraging tools. KW Command Smart Plans is an idea of brevity or follow-up boss integration, a VA admin support, Facebook custom audience, upload your database for passive targeting, great for return on investment, which is cool. Measurement and accountability. And all right, so now it said you want to do the lead gen calendar. I'm going to say no. Let's work on my GPS for 2026, please. All right. Not that we can't go back and do that lead gen calendar, which is great. You can go any way that you want. Kind of takes me back to those old books where you if you, wanted to fight the dragon, you could go to page 54, but if you wanted to run away, you could go to page 36. You could see what would happen. Same thing here. You can go any direction that you want, change course. You can always go back to any part that you want as well. So now it's going to go through our GPS, right? And this is really, really important for us to make sure that we have our goals, our priorities, and our strategies set for 2026, right? So it picked a theme for us: consistency and connection, create college freedom. So that's actually pretty catchy. I think I actually like that. Goal: achieve 200 GCI and 150,000 net income in 2026. Help fund the kids' college and build lasting financial freedom. That is great. So there's our goal. That's the thing that should be in front of us every single day, right? All right, now let's look at our priorities, right? There's GPS, right? So your goal, priorities. So 3 big rocks for 2026. Priority 1, appointments equal growth. Generate 49 appointments, 1 per week. Maintain conversion rate, 70% clients, 75% contracts, 80% closings. Average 2 closings per month, boom, 20. Now underneath that, it's going to have our strategies. 2 hours a day lead gen, 10 hours a week minimum. Daily tracking of contacts, appointments, and conversions. However you want to do it, but track it. Role play and script practice 3 times a week for skill growth. And now, priority number 2, database depth, consistent pipeline. So now really saying we've got to build that database from 500 to 700 quality contacts. Implement a 66 to 100 touch system that we just talked about. And then you could obviously go back and do that calendar to help out, to stay top of mind. Achieve 20% repeat referral business. Here are the strategies for it, right? Set up automated smart plans for birthdays, home anniversaries, market updates, hold 4 client events a year, 1 per quarter, add 20 new contacts per month from open houses, referrals, and social media. All right, and then number 3, profit and leverage equals freedom. So it's our 3rd priority. Maintain expenses at 25% GCI or less. That will give us next net 75% profit margin, 150,000. Add part-time admin VA by mid-year for transaction and marketing support. Or if you have a transaction coordinator, that also could be that support that you need depending on how much they do for you. So what's your strategy? Monthly P&L review and return on investment audit for all lead sources. Nothing wrong with spending money on leads and trying to get more leads, but make sure you're tracking that return on investment. Delegate paperwork and scheduling to lever time for lead gen. Build next hire job description by Q3 and recruit through Market Center resources. So once again, if you got that TC and now you're starting to get up to 20, maybe you're going to go to 25, 30, that's when at some point you think about getting an admin or a virtual admin or something like that. And there's tools, there's career visioning, the DISC, the KPA, all these things are tools that we can help with to make it easier when you start to head towards that new hire. And that's going to show us our measurements, right? Which we already know. We know where we were. We know where we want to go in 2026. Key accountability tools, the 411, which is tied directly to our GPS, economic model spreadsheet, update monthly for progress, command goals, dashboard, track conversion, volume and activities, coach, team leader check-in every 90 days to review and reset. So now it's going to say, would you like to translate this GPS into your 411? Perfect time to go back as well and say, okay, these things work for me, or I need to make some changes in the GPS before I move forward. Maybe there are a few other strategies that you'd like to in. I'm going to say, yes, let's do a 411. Perfect. So this is where we move from vision to action, right? So your 411, there's 4 weeks, 1 month, 1 year. It's your tactical scoreboard. So it's nice too, because this really, as it says, bridges your GPS in your daily activities. So restates our annual goals. So our annual goals there, right? That's our big part of it. There's our monthly goals that we need. And then down here it has our weekly focus. So let's take a look at this for a second. So for our monthly goals for a second, we're going to use, it's going to use January for us as an example. So lead gen, you need 300 contacts, about 75 a week. So that's that daily 2-hour lead gen block, 15 conversations per day. Appointment set 4 to 5, 1 per week, tracked in Command or whatever CRM that you like to use. Contracts written 2, consistent follow-up and pre-qualifying closed units 2. That will maintain that 8% contract close rate that I put in earlier on, right? Database growth, 20 new contacts, open houses, referrals, however you like to do that, right? Launch new year market update email and social campaigns, giving you an idea like right there. Send CMA offers to your top 100 clients. Budget, expense audit, plus 25% cap. Review all subscriptions, ad spend, everything. Beginning of the new year is a great time to do that too. Just sort of do that red light, green light exercise on what's actually you need to have in your business, what's working for you, and what is a red light that you just could do without and you'd be just fine. Leverage in systems, build admin job role description. Once again, if you're like, okay, I'm not going to hire an admin this year, get that out of there. Maybe you want to make sure you have a consistent transaction coordinator to help you, or your coordinator's, retiring or something else. Okay, perfect. Personal family, review college savings goal, plan family weekend recharge. So it's cool. I put in a personal piece there. Once again, tweak it to whatever you want to be. So weekly focus, sample week template, right? Lead gen now. So we've gone from our annual goal to monthly to our weekly, right? So now we got the lead gen, prospect 5 days, 2 hours a day, 75 contacts, follow up, nurture 2 hours, 15 nurture updates, appointments, schedule and hold 1 set plus 1 held each week. Database growth, add 5 to 6 new names, 20 per month pace, right? So when you break it down to the week, you're like, okay, I got to get 5 to 6 new names in. That'll get me to the 12 a month. Doesn't seem as daunting. Post two times an email blast, consistency and engagement, budget tracking, 15 minutes on Friday, do a review. If it's not Friday for you, pick a day that you want to do it and do it. Make sure you're watching your expenses. Keep them under that 25% that we talked about. Learning and scripts, 3 times, 15-minute script practice, sharpen conversations, right? I mean, right now, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we do a script practice every single morning. So jump on the Zoom and script practice with your colleagues. Personal family, 1 unplugged evening, balance and recharge. Once again, whatever you want to do, what are you doing each week to make sure that you're unplugged, you get what you need, you're enjoying life, you're enjoying your family. And that's for accountability and tracking, right? Track weekly wins and gaps every Friday. Update command or whatever you like to use for your CRM with your goals dashboard. It could even be a spreadsheet, but make sure you're tracking. Review monthly with your team leader. Reach out to me if you want to. I'm right here. And your coach or your coach for realignment. Celebrate appointments set, not just closings, right? You've got to focus on the small wins too. It's easy for us to be like, oh, I'm just looking at closings. Appointments set, perfect. Appointments held, even better. That's great. Agreement signed, even better, right? But you want to make sure you celebrate each of those. So now it's going to say, do you want to create a Q1 401 plan with monthly goals for February and March included so you can print or upload it into Command as your official 90-day business plan? Yes, please. All right. We're probably going to end here with this just so I don't go over time too much. But as you can see, this will build out everything that you want for your business plan. And always remember your business plan, your GPS, your 411, these are all living documents and they should be revisited all the time. So especially your 411, which is going to be your weekly to your monthly, right? But then make sure that's tying back into what you said on your GPS and your overall business plan for the year. So once again, now it's doing the annual goals, it's doing your monthly goals, Q1. So now it's taking it from just January and now it's going to give us the whole quarter. What do we need to do? It's nicely laid out for you as well. And you can put this into a PDF, you can pull it out, put it into a Google Doc, whatever you want. So here's your weekly action plan, all Q1 weeks. Here's what you need to do each week. Accountability framework, success for Q1. So what's success going to look like? What are the standards? Contacts made, 900 based on this. So about 75 a week. Appointments set, 12 to 15, 3 to 4 a month. Contracts written, 6. So that's 2 a month. Closing, 6, 2 a month again. Database growth, 60 plus. That'll get you 20 a month, right? And expenses, keep that below 25%. That's what we put in. So check it monthly. Do that weekly review on anything you're spending monthly on. It'll take you a few minutes. Is it actually returning value? Family goal, whatever that may be. Anyway, so that's what I built out inside this KW Gateway Business Planning Coach. I think that you really like it. You can really explore it anywhere that you are. If you get your business plan done, you want to work on a GPS, or if you have your GPS and you're like, oh, the 411, that just seems overwhelming. Take the information, plug it in here. And the nice thing is too, it'll remember what you're working on. So you can come back in and say, okay, I want to do this, or I need to do that. And if you create a 411 in here, you can ask ChatGPT to send you a reminder each week for it to check in to see if you're following up with your 411 each week, right? Because you don't hit some of these weekly goals, then you're going to have to add them to the next week, or else you're going to start to get behind month after month, and that's not what you want. So that's what I have for you. Any questions? If you'd like to try a copy of this, reach out to me. I'm going to send it out to everybody that was in business planning or signed up for business planning for either MB's class or for the class that Kevin and I taught. All right. All right. Thanks for joining me. And I hope you enjoy the KW Gateway Business Planning Coach. I'll talk to you all later. Have a great day.